Hey everybody, it is Ray's Readings and you. We are back again for another extended reading for everybody. So we did just record part 1 over on Instagram, so there's a link below to that. Definitely check that out before sitting through this one. Excuse me while I just adjust a couple things here, but yeah, hope you're all doing well, staying safe, staying in love as much as possible, and staying away from fear as much as humanly possible. So before we get into anything, guys, I'm just going to give you the quick explanation on my buddy here, Oyuk. So this is Oyuk. He is handmade by me. He was an idea that was channeled to me last year sometime through spirit. They let me know that this little fluffy teal friend wanted to come through. He wanted to be manifested in the physical so that he'd be here to encourage me to be able to speak my truth, as well as to support me on a mental, physical, emotional, spiritual level. And I should mention as well that part of his reason in being here and being present in all of these readings is that he very much wants to be a light, loving, accepting, energetic support for you all. So he is not just a stuffed animal or a prop or something that I purchased. He's handmade, and he's basically like a spirit guide channeled into this physical form. So he is a very special, unique little dude. All right, so before we get into it as well, I just want to remind you all to continue sending prayers, light, love, protection, good thoughts, and energy to the people of the Ukraine right now. And honestly, anybody, any group of people out there in the world right now, to any situation that really needs your time and attention and good thoughts and positivity and energy. All right, guys, so we're going to jump into the singing bowl now. We're going to join together for some energetic cleaning, clearing, cleansing, and overall just getting ourselves in the right mindset for today's reading. All right, so we're going to do that. Let's try that again. That's the first time I've ever dropped this in the singing bowl, so it's interesting. I don't know what that means, but all right, guys. So I'll give you a quick rundown of what came out in part 1 over on Instagram. Again, there's a link. Wow, I'm having a hard time today. There's a link below to that, so definitely check that out before sitting through this one. So we have the Emperor card. Oh, it was supposed to be in reverse. And then we have the 8 of Wands, and then we have the Page of Cups. So we have the Emperor. He's escaping. He's running away. So Page of Cups in reverse. I don't know what I said. I hope I said that right. But yeah, so basically the energy so far is, you're here and you're trying to develop into the Emperor. So you're being tested to see, can you remain and can you really stand in the Emperor energy, or are you going to fall back into a little bit of those page level habits? So you're being asked to kind of step back a little bit, not rush forward impulsively. You got to sit back. You got to think about some things and really move thoughtfully and in a calculated way, instead of just bashing through things and being really impulsive and just being like, well, I want to move and I want to do stuff, so I'm just gonna go do it and I'm gonna see what happens, even though you're possibly not quite prepared. So you're being called to sit back and prepare and allow yourself to be patient and give yourself room to think about things and get a logical, grounded action plan towards what it is that you have your goal set on here, right? So if you're the Emperor, you're trying to build up your empire, and that's hilarious. I'm talking about this. We have the 10 of Pentacles, which is having it all, right? So you're trying to build up this 10 of Pentacles empire type life, and that doesn't happen in a day, and that doesn't happen by just like winging it and seeing what happens, right? It takes a lot of thought and planning and care to happen. So yeah, you got to allow yourself to be in that, allow yourself to heal some things too, allow yourself to mature through the process as well. So have a couple cards coming out. All right, so we have the 3 of Swords coming out. It's fascinating. I have not seen this card in quite some time. Then we have the Devil in reverse, and then we have the Fool. So it's very interesting that we have the Devil card coming out, because we have the Page of Cups in reverse. And I looked at the guidebook for this deck that I'm using. This is the Rider-Waite Tarot Gold Sun Edition, and you can't really see it well. Woo! Yeah, one of the words for the Page of Cups in the reverse position was attachments and healing that, like unhealthy attachments. And the Devil card is those unhealthy attachments, really, and codependency, addictions, things like that, right? So it's interesting that that is coming out in reverse because that's clearly something that we're healing. So I'm going to pull some more cards, though, and then we'll get more in depth into it and kind of what I'm getting here. All right, there's this one's coming out. All right. So yeah, the deck is a little like stuck up today, so there's definitely like a bit of a stagnant energy, and that's what I'm getting from this reading is you're having a hard time. Okay, very interesting that we have the sun coming out now because I thought I saw this card come out when we had like a whole bunch coming out just a couple minutes ago. But yeah, so there's definitely a little bit of a stagnant, stuck energy within the deck today and within the reading. So it's like there's kind of this feeling of like, okay, like I can't just like rush forward and do everything all at once. So I feel stuck. And I feel like that stuckness is actually just an illusion, you know, like you're just telling yourself that you're stuck because you're not used to stepping back in and taking some time out for yourself. So interesting. We have the 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to keep that pointed up, but I think I'm going to stop there for pulling the cards. So we'll talk about the 10 of Pentacles first. So again, this is the life, the ultimate life that you're trying to build for yourself here. Out of all the cards in the Minor Arcana, this is the most stable, like whole, complete, rounded card, right? Did I say the Minor? I hope I said Minor Arcana. Yes. So you know, this is, you have your partner, your lifelong partner, you have some animals, you have your house, you know, your beautiful home, I should say. You have all the money you could ever need to support yourself and your family. You know, you live where you want to live. You're prosperous, you're abundant, you're in a wonderful place, you're feeling good. You know, this is when you get to, you know, the 10 is kind of a number of completion, right? It's the end of a cycle. So this is kind of, you know, like the dream life that so many people have. Not everybody, but a lot of people have this kind of dream vision in their head of, okay, this is where I want to be at a certain point in my life, right? So maybe that's, you know, at a certain age, once you know, you're at least into your adulthood enough that you're old enough to be married and you've maybe completed school, you have your own vehicle, you have, you know, your own house now because you have a good job and you can afford that, and you know, you have your career in line, all that stuff. Maybe you have some animals to kind of complete the whole picture. Again, I'm just saying that because that's seems to be a basic common thing that people dream of. Or, you know, maybe this is you during retirement or something. You have all of this stuff that you could have ever wanted, and then you're just getting to enjoy it by then. I mean, I hope that you're enjoying it well before you get to that point for yourself, but I hope you know what I'm saying. So you have this big vision, and again, to me, this is the empire that I'm talking about. We are here in this emperor energy that is showing himself, and so you want to have your empire built up, you want to have your shit together, you want to have everything. So, you know, if you want to have this kind of life, you have to meet it with this emperor energy. And I just flipped it upright again because there goes the 10 of Pentacles, because that's the energy we ought to be in to be able to cultivate this 10 of Pentacles life, right? Like, I cannot express to you how this is like the ultimate, like, I have everything going for me card in itself. I mean, obviously you can add other cards onto it to make it that much better. Like, to me, the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups go together like peas and carrots, or I don't even know. 2 peas in a pod. I don't know. It's a beautiful thing. And so that's a very, very big, prosperous life that you have ahead of you in your mind and in your vision. So there are some steps, though, that you're going to have to go through before you can get to that, right? And this is what, so the cards that we're just about to get into, this is why you're being called to sit back, sit down, and be patient and allow yourself to mature and go through things. And again, I did mention with the Page of Cups in reverse, there needs to be some healing. So the healing, we have the 3 of Swords upright. I don't know why I had such a big brain fart on that card, but the 3 of Swords upright. we have like an active, heartbreaking, traumatic situation here right now. It seems like it's weighing very heavily on your heart, on your mind, on your body, your spirit. And I'm also getting that because this is a swords card, this might be affecting your communication, right? So you might not be speaking out of love and acting out of love. You might be actually speaking out of fear and hurt and pain, because that's something that happened. Doesn't matter how long ago that something or many of these things happened to put you in this place of feeling heartbroken and defeated and in a state of grief, but that's still sitting with you very much in the present to this day. And that is something that you need to heal and that you need to move through, because it is actively affecting your life and your relationships. If we have this 10 of Pentacles life, let's say, for example, you want to, get married and have your Empress by your side here, Mr. Emperor man. Again, when I say that, you do not have to be a man in real life. It's just energy. You could very well be a woman. You can be a non-binary, all that wonderful stuff. But it's just like you really need to heal through these things. You got to move through these grief, and guess what? That takes time, right? There's that saying, like, time heals all wounds, and so you deserve to allow yourself that grace, to give yourself that time, and that compassion to be able to feel through the things that you need to feel through and heal through them as well. That's going to be very important for you at this time, because we have the devil energy up, right? So there has been some codependency in your life. I'm getting that you've probably been in relationships in different situations that you went into them while you were still in this energy, right? And you've been in this energy consistently, is what I'm getting, right? Like you've worked on it, you've healed some stuff, absolutely. I'm not saying that you haven't, but it's just been something that's constantly being carried with you. Some days it was like a big issue and it was right in your face and you couldn't ignore. Other days it was like just a little minuscule, like little scar on your heart, we'll say, but it was still there and it was still present. And that's something that we need to kind of move out of the way, because that is standing in the way of you standing in your full glory here. So what I'm saying here is we have the devil card here. So to me, what this is indicating is that you've probably put yourself in different situations, whether that be like romantic relationships, friendships, like deep life-changing situations. So maybe like jobs, careers, different things like that didn't actually sit right with yourself, with your soul, with your wants and your needs and your desires, and things that just kind of added to the issue that we're already having here with this kind of like broken heart, defeatedness, like feeling very wounded emotionally here. So it's like you had this kind of this attachment to unhealthy mindsets. I'm getting the main kind of mindset I'm getting is again, just like rushing forward into things and making impulsive decisions, even though you may have known deep in your soul it wasn't good for you, and ignoring yourself and ignoring your truth. There was something else I was coming through, but I'm not quite getting it through at the moment. So maybe, hopefully it'll come back. If not, whatever. But yeah, so there's just kind of this pattern here I'm seeing of some codependent behaviors, right? And bypassing feelings and issues and troubles that you're having, and not allowing yourself to really sit with those things and heal through things, right? So it is this continual pattern that I'm seeing in part one and now carrying through into part two of this reading, of rushing through things, not giving things the time of day to be healed, to be felt, even to be planned out and well thought through before you just go and take action. It's just like, well, I want to do this, so I'm going to do it. It doesn't fucking matter if this is standing in the way, if, I don't care if this is going to create issues. I'm just going to go for it and I'm going to try anyways. And that's a very unhealthy, hurtful thing to continue to do to yourself, because not only are you kind of deceiving yourself, and we did have with that Page of Cups in reverse, kind of some self-deception energy coming through. So there's a lot of lying to yourself, and I'm getting probably you've done a lot of I'm fine, it's fine, I'll figure it out. And it's not fine because you're already in a space where you're hurting and you're grieving, and then you're going out and you're doing things and jumping into things before you're actually ready and able to on an emotional level, and that's just adding on to the issue. So it's like all these swords just keep getting put in. It might have just started with this sword, like a big heartbreak, for example, or something like that, some kind of big letdown or betrayal or something very difficult and gut-wrenching, I'm hearing, very troubling to deal with. And then you have these two very heavy, very significant swords being put in here. And I'm almost seeing like the swords are big, significant things, but along the way, it's like you've had like little toothpicks or little pins or something in there. So that's not such a significant deep wound, but it still, it adds up over time, right? So it's like you gotta stop doing that. No, but you gotta stop doing things that keep adding to the issue. You gotta, like, again, take a step back, like with this Emperor card in reverse here, like Spirit is calling you to do, to step back and heal and release some of these attachments, this grief, this feeling of defeat and betrayal, heartbreak, all that negativity. You gotta step back and learn to heal through that, feel through it, and release it so that you stop dragging the past and the old negative things and the difficult things with you into the present, into the things that you're trying to grow, you're trying to develop, and you're trying to be a better person and have better for yourself in your life. But you're taking all the things of the past, all the horrible things, and it's like you're just dragging around a trash bag that is like way too full. It stinks, it's horrible. Like it not only affects you, but it affects other people, right? You're dragging that into every new situation that you go into, and you got to stop that, right? I mean, it's hard to have, let's just say, if we're using a trash bag analogy, for example, it's hard to, be a valued, loved, and respected worker if you're dragging a trash bag around and everybody is bothered by the smell. It's hard to be in a loving, open relationship where you're really in it and you're really present with your partner and you're really feeling it, if your partner, your person, is just like really put off by the smell of the trash bag. And I'm not saying that you're horrible or you're wrong or you're unworthy for having shit, for having trauma. Not at all. All right, we all have shit, we all have trauma, we all have grief and heartbreak and letdown and disappointments, but we all have to deal with it and we all have to heal it. And it's especially important for you, and because I'm getting this very strongly, because I'm hearing you kind of maybe thinking like, okay, well, I know so many other people that have shit like way heavier than I do that they're carrying around all the time and they move on and things work out fine for them. Well, let me tell you, person, all right, you are special and you're different than that. And so there's a big reason why you, of all people, need to heal this stuff, because you have such a higher purpose and you're trying to be the emperor, right? You're not just trying to be a knight. Some of these people that you're thinking of and referencing, and you could be thinking of and referencing in your mind of, well, they have all of this stuff and they're fine and they made it. These people aren't sitting at the same level that you are, and I'm not trying to undermine these people and say that one is better than the other. Absolutely not. But you're on a different path, and you're here for something different than that. You want more, you're asking for more, and you're trying to cultivate more. So you have to do more than that. You have to do more healing. You have to show up for yourself. That's a big thing here, is you got to show up for yourself just as much as you're wanting to show up for everybody else and everything else. You're trying to cultivate a whole damn empire here. You got to show up and treat yourself like the empire first, not everything else on the external. Right now, you're just trying to, show up entirely for the empire and not at all for yourself. Like, you got to really take care of yourself and fill your own cup first before you can fill all those other cups that you got to fill along the line, right? So I hope that makes sense. And the message is properly coming across here, that there's a big, heavy, significant reason why you, of all people, got to take care of yourself. You got to heal through these things. You got to work on it and fix these things, because again, you're wanting gold out of life. So you can't keep dragging trash into every situation, and then you're just like, you can't make a throne out of a trash bag. I mean, I'm sure you could, but it's not the luxurious throne that you want. So let it go, release it, release the attachments. And it seems like you are, because we have this Devil card in reverse. And so the next card, very indicative of this, we have the Fool card. The Fool card is the ultimate, the epitome of releasing attachments, right? Like a fool, they literally have the clothes off their back so that they don't get arrested for public indecency, okay? They have the few little things that they need, and they have their companion here, the dog, and then they're going for it. Just kidding. I don't know. But it's okay, so I was kind of getting conflicted messages here, because the Fool looks like, again, they're just going to jump off the cliff and go for it without thinking about it. But here's the thing, though, is the Fool had to take time. They had to sit, they had to process, they had to go through things, they had to do a fuck ton of spring cleaning and donating and pawning or whatever else they need to do to get to this point of having minimal attachments to things that don't matter, right? Like this Fool card, if we're going to go back to the trash bag analogy, you had to sit through that trash bag and throw things out, put it in the compost, donate it, whatever it may have been, heal it, burn it, whatever it was, to get rid of it and to clear that weight, right? I mean, look, this Fool even has a little bag here, right? So if we're picturing a massive trash bag that's going to be bigger than your entire body that you're dragging around, well, look, you did so much spring cleaning that you barely have anything in there, right? Like, I mean, we can never have zero attachments. We're always going to have memories and lessons and things that we learned that we have to carry with us, because that's the real value in the gold. But you had to sift through a lot of shit in your trash bag to find those little gold nuggets, and then you're taking it with you and you're fucking going for it, right? So this is a beautiful place to be in, of being so overburdened and so weighed down by what you've been through and what you're holding on to be able to put yourself in a place where you're letting nearly everything, obviously not everything, but like so incredibly much go, so that you can be free. And guess what? The Fool, they're like, you know what, blank slate, baby, we're going for it. Like you're so free, you're so light. But this person has a lot of lightness and confidence and excitement within them. They're ready to see what the world has to offer. They're ready to show the world what they have to offer. They're ready to face whatever comes their way, right? And they're not feeling weighed down, like if you didn't let that stuff go and you're trying to start this Fool's journey, then guess what? You would be there stuck on whatever it is that you're holding on to. So maybe you have a lot of anxiety or a lot of really deeply ingrained memories of past experiences. Well, you'd be there on your Fool's journey like, hello world, I'm ready to conquer, and maybe not conquer, but I'm ready to seek out what you got for me. I'm ready to show you who I am. And then you'd be sitting there like, okay, but this could happen and this could happen, and what am I going to do? Oh my God, like you'd just be having all this shit coming up, all these memories of the past. And so you can see why you got to let that go, because you just have to be in a good optimistic attitude, which the Fool, again, is the epitome of optimism to me, to just be like, you know what? I don't entirely know what's going to happen or how I'm going to do it all, but I'm going to go for it. But again, it sounds contradictory to what I was saying about the Emperor card of not just rushing forward and acting on impulse. But that's the thing, is the Fool card, this took a lot of planning, this took a lot of time, this took a lot of effort, this took a lot of healing to get here in the first place. So again, it really comes down to balance is what I'm getting. So absolutely, you have to think things through and you have to plan things out, but and not be totally impulsive. But you also have to understand that there are so many things in this world that we cannot control and that we cannot predict. So at some point, you do have to kind of just go for it and jump off the cliff and trust that the universe will have your back. So it's again a balance of being your own authority and going out and doing the things and getting the things done, but also trusting the universe to not lead you astray. And to, if you're a horse, they're going to lead you to water when you need it, right? Right. Anyways, so then we have the Three of Wands. So this, to me, in reverse, is lack of having a hard time making decisions. So this, what is being asked of you is that you flip this energy around to, okay, I've made a decision, I'm sticking with it, and I'm going for it, I'm going with it, and I'm not backing down on that. So again, what I'm getting is like your lack of decision making has been your unwillingness and your inability, we'll say, because this is like debilitating inability to let go of some of this stuff, right? Like it's like you've literally been clinging on like it's a rope hanging off of a cliff with like sharp rocks on the bottom, and you're like, I can't let any of these old patterns go and these old trauma and the old hurts, because if I let go, what do I have? I'm gonna die. Like, and it's just like, you won't though. Like, you'll be okay if you let go and you trust. Well, guess what? A dragon's gonna come fly under you and swoop you away. Like, something's gonna come through and help you. It's a very dumb, fantastical analogy, but it's just like what I'm hearing is it's not the end of the world to release and to let go of these attachments of anything. Once you let go of what you're hanging on to so tightly because it's so scary to let go. You let go, then guess what? You're free. And we have that freedom here in the Fool card. All right. So I think that's all I need to say about the Three of Wands. So we'll move into the final card, which is the Sun card. All right. Well, actually, we have one card after, but I'll just talk about that quickly. But we have the Sun card. So look, if that isn't freedom, I don't know what is. All right, they're on a horse. They can go anywhere that they want to. They're just basking in the sunlight, feeling so much joy and radiance in life again. And so I'm getting, these very much coincide, right? So you've done all the cleaning, you've done all the releasing, and guess what? You're here now in the spot where, okay, you set yourself free, you feel good, you feel light, you brought life and vitality back into yourself, back into the life that you've been living this whole time. But it's like you forgot how to live in the present moment because you're so stuck in the past and holding on to all of the past hurts and the resentments and the betrayals and the trauma and the grief and the guilt and all that shit. And then you let that go and it puts you in this state of mind of being like a kid again. I mean, obviously you can never go back and get those years back, but you can change your state of mind to be, it's like a total reset, a total refresh where you're not weighed down and like, my God, life, I don't, like you're just like, oh, I'm ready. Like, I don't know. I'm very goofy and lighthearted, but I hope you can see how the energy has kind of changed and transitioned through the reading, and that's what I'm seeing in you as well. Once you really do a lot of releasing, a lot of clearing, a lot of healing, I'm getting you may need to do some shadow work, maybe do some journaling, maybe write down a list of things that you would like to release, and then burn that baby down. Maybe you need to get some healing work done from different people who offer that, like all on really energetic levels. I'm hearing maybe you even need like traditional talk therapy or something to work through some of these traumas and these triggers. But I would just caution you with that to not allow those methods to put you back in a place of just reliving things and rehashing them to the point where it's just more deeply ingraining you and sinking you back into the mud of what it is that you're trying to get out of. So talk about it, move through it, feel through it, like I said earlier, but you got to release it and let it go, right? So feel through it to heal through it so that you can set it free so that you can be free yourself as well. So that's very important. And again, we do have the Sun card here, which is the single most positive, amazing, sunny, joyous card in the entire tarot deck. And to top that off, it is also a major arcana card, which is a very significant, powerful energy. So that is like the best card to kind of end on here to wrap up the reading, is such a positive note. So don't doubt yourself. You really can do this. You really can get through this. I wholeheartedly believe in your ability to release and let go exactly what it is that you need to release. You will know that. Or again, if you give yourself time, you meditate, you set the intention of, okay, I'm healing some stuff, I'm releasing some stuff, I'm maturing because I want to be the emperor, so I am showing up for myself and I am committing to the process of healing myself. You will have those messages, the hints, the breakthroughs of exactly what it is that you're holding on to that you need to heal. Because sometimes it's like those fucking Febreze commercials where they talk, it's my favorite, where they talk about going nose blind. So it's like, okay, you've been dragging this trash bag around with God knows what's in it. You've gone nose blind to it, okay? Like you're not smelling your own shit. So, in that analogy, it's easy to know that you got some shit to deal with, but it's easy to forget and not realize every little thing that it is that you got to deal with, right? It's just like when you're going through your trash bag to clear stuff out, you're going to go through there. There's so much in there, and it's been so long since you've taken a peek into that trash bag. You're going to find a fuck ton of stuff that you forgot were even in the first place. It's like when you clean out your house or your basement or a room that you barely ever use, and you're like, I forgot that I had this. When did I get this? Where did this come from? Like, that's the energy we're talking about here. So it's going to be interesting, guys. There's a lot of cleaning, clearing, and healing and releasing that needs to happen here. But you know what? Here's the positive thing. So you're trying to be the emperor, but when you start digging into these like archives of yourself, you're going to find a lot of interesting things out about yourself that you forgot or that you didn't know in the first place. And guess what? This process of cleaning and healing and clearing all of this stuff out is going to advance your yourself knowledge and your self-awareness and further put you into this energy that you want to be in. And it seems like it's going backwards when we're cleaning and we're letting stuff go, and then we're going back to ground zero here to the Fool card. But again, you're cleaning the slate so that this foundation could be even stronger. So don't be afraid of, if I let these things go, if I let these experiences, these attachments, these negative things go, who am I? I'm going to be nobody. I'm going to lose myself. That's not going to happen. It's like you have to lose yourself to find yourself. I don't know. I'm just looking at these cards and I just feel so much beauty and lightness, so much joy just looking at these. And it's like these These are the same person. Do not mistake this, right? I mean, here's the beginning and here's where you want to end up. So you have to start somewhere. Okay, so last card I'll quickly talk about, but we have the Nine of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, and I felt called to talk about it. So real quickly, this is cultivating. This is building this up, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles, and this is what you want. So this is you putting the work in and practicing your abundance and your prosperity mindset, and just in the material as well. So that's something that's going to be playing into play, coming into play here in the energy. So very interesting, guys, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to fuck with the energy anymore, but overall it's very positive, guys. I know it's kind of heavy with some of the stuff that needs to be cleared out and needs to be released, but I assure you, very, very positive reading, and you got this. All right, so I'm sending you so much love and light. I wish you so incredibly well on your journey, whatever stage that you're at. I know that you can do this. You have the stuff in you. You know that you have the stuff in you. There's a reason that you have the goals, the dreams, and the visions that you have. All right, you can do this. Do not doubt yourself for a second and your abilities to be able to heal and overcome this and get exactly where it is that you want to be. Okay, guys? So much love and light to you, okay? Please continue to keep praying for the people of the Ukraine, and honestly, whoever else and whatever else, wherever else needs prayers and light and love and peace and healing and protection right now in the world. Definitely as much light as you can spread out. Absolutely do it. It is so needed, it is so felt, and you're when you do that, you're helping to raise the overall vibration of our entire planet. It's a very important job. All right, so we're task. I don't know. I don't want to call it a job. But anyways, I'm going to shut up now. So have a wonderful rest of your day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're getting here. My buddy, you can have see you all real soon. And I'm going to hop on over to Patreon and pull a couple oracle cards, and then we'll wrap everything up. All right, guys. So have a wonderful rest of your evening. And my buddy, you can have see you all real soon. All right. Goodbye, guys.